Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. You know, sometimes many shuls and many places they have designated rooms, dedicated rooms, where you have places where you put shamos, geniza, holy objects are meant not to be laying around, have to be put away in holy places, buried, etc. So sometimes after being put away for many months before people could get to do what they're supposed to do with it, you could find very good things there. So if you go to a old shul, you go to a place that has a geniza, a room of geniza, you might find an old sefer, you might find an old pair of tefilin, old mezuzah, and the question is, if you find an old tefillin mezuzah, could you assume that all is well? The tefillin is kosher, the mezuzah is kosher. May you just use it, or should you invest? Do you not? Should you? Should you is always good to do. Do you have to invest the money and pay a sefer to check it to make sure that it is kosher? In other words, do you have to assume because it's in the geniza, it's in the shamos, that it's not good? Or could you say, why do I have to assume there's something negative? Now, this question is actually discussed in the Halachas Ktanes, Chuvas Halachas Ktanes, Chelik Beis, Simen Kuf, Samach Vov. Now, and the way he discusses it, he tries to compare it to a din that we also find in Choshen Mishpat about a document. We find a similar thing, that people are usually careful about items that they cherish. For example, if you have a receipt, a document that says that somebody owes you money, if it means a lot to you because, yes, you want to collect that money, you're not going to let that receipt roam around. If you lose that receipt, you're not going to be able to collect the $1,000 the person owes you. If the receipt is floating around somewhere, then there is something fishy with that receipt. Either the receipt, either the loan never took place, or the loan was paid, or it's a phony, a fraud. So if you do find a receipt floating around, we usually the first thing that comes to mind that it's a phony, it's a fraud, it's we have to prove that it's real, because something that's real, people don't let loose. People keep and cherish and make sure that it's kept safe. So if there is such a din about a shtar, a document, a financial document, would there not be the same halacha about a spiritual thing, a mezuzah, a tefillin, that if it's a holy pair of tefillin, if it's a kosher pair of tefillin, why would it be in the geniza? Why would it be in the shamos? Why wouldn't somebody be using it? And even if there's nobody around that needs it, it'll be somebody else. He'll share it with a friend. The fact that it's in the shamos, that means something must be wrong. Let's use that logic. From the other hand, the Chuvas Halachas Ktanis uses a way of thinking that perhaps these two dinim are not the same, because the financial matter, we always have a rule that we have to apply, and the rule that we have to apply is Hamaitzi mechaveiroi olav haraya. Hamaitzi mechaveiroi olav haraya means to say that we assume that the money that I have in my pocket belongs to me. Every time I have money in my pocket, it belongs to me. If you want to ask me, and you claim that I owe you money, you are trying to draw some money out of my pocket. It is your responsibility to prove it. Now, every time you have to prove it, your proof has to be a very, very strong proof. So every type of proof that's fishy is not strong enough. So this document that's floating around will be fighting a fact, a strong fact, that my money that's in my pocket is stronger, perhaps, than a fishy document. So hamoitzi mechaverei olav araya is from one hand. A fishy document is on the other hand. So over there, I understand why it's not strong enough. Whereas when it comes to tefillin, mezuzah, where we don't have any reason to speculate, we have nothing to challenge it, to say, hey, what's wrong? As long as you look at it, and from the get-go, just looking at it, it appears to look good. Why should you speculate that anything is wrong? Now, the Mishnah Brura in Siman Lametes Sifkat and Chavches brings the halachas ketanis, and he does say that if the tefillin that you found them open, okay, now it starts looking fishy. It's not regular. It's not wrapped normal. If you found them open, if you find them missing some ritzuos, their straps are missing, that's already fishy. Now, here's where we have some speculation. Perhaps they were thrown, or they were put there because there's something wrong. But if it looks fine, even if they are in the geniza, even if they are in the shamos area, there's no reason to speculate. Of course, if you want to invest and you want to be l'fnim mishura sadin, you could invest money and send it to a sofer. The same would be about a mezuzah, unless you have any reason to speculate. And this is the same thing that we find Rabbi Yoshev Paskin, that unless you have any reason to speculate, unless you see an open reason to believe that there was something wrong, especially today's days, that the soifrim today, when they check a mezuzah, they actually make a mark on the place of the mezuzah to notice, to mark where there's something wrong. So if there would have been something wrong with this in the mezuzah, there would have been a mark there on a dot or a circle, so people should know why it's placed in the shamos. So if you don't see that, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. You don't have to just jump and invest money. Of course, if you want to, you could, but you don't have to assume that it's bad, and you could use that tefillin and mezuzah for the bracha, for the mitzvah.